Hey team, I hope you guys are having a good week. It is Thursday and there's a few things I wanted to share with you before we head into the weekend. The first is that we are moving into week 3 of platform, and just wanted to share a big win for the week was that our the FLE we had here with Joe Sangle, was a huge success. We had a ton of people not only on the weekends, but that Sunday night and Monday night class I know a lot of you went to, a ton of people, almost 900 adults. When you combine the kids, it was over 1,000. And of that, we have had a huge number of people make either a giving or savings commitment, that 90-day challenge that we gave everyone. A ton of people has taken it, so much so that even today, 4 days after, Tina is still trying to process through all of the cards to get them all in the system. And so just a whole lot of people. God knew that finances were a big thing out here that we needed to address, and He is doing that, and He's doing it in a way a lot bigger than what we thought was going to be possible. So that was just a big win for us, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Again, just thank you for playing your part in being there, for serving here, for investing in Fountain Springs and what God is doing, because we're seeing a whole lot of life change going on. But moving into this next week, one of the things I want to do, we've started to take inventories of our teams and just see how they are and how they're doing. But I want to spend the next few weeks kind of doing a personal inventory. It's been a few months, and so I simply want to ask you guys as people and followers of Christ, where you are. So there's a few things I want to ask you in categories to give you some time to think about it over the next few weeks, because I do want to ask, just to see where you guys are. And that's going to be, I want to ask, how are you doing personally? How are you doing in your family? How are you doing with the ministry? And how are you doing at your work? That's something that, here we do quarterly, that Todd likes to meet with us and just see where we are. Another big one he asks that I also want to challenge you guys just to be thinking about, because I want to ask you also, how have you embodied love, give, go? How have you shown love? How have you, given? And how have you gone? How have you been releasing? How have you been reaching out and just grabbing a hold of people? And so I just want you guys to be thinking about those heading into this week, because I just want to ask, how we are. And if you think it's a terrible answer, there is no bad answer. We just always want to be inventorying ourselves to see, okay, where we are, where are we doing great, where should we be celebrating, and where we want to be growing. And so that's what I want to do with us this week, and over the next 2 weeks. Again, I hound it because I've already seen the past 2 weeks it do so much as far as reaching more people. If you haven't asked somebody to send out a text for your team, please do it. One, it gives them the opportunity to have some leadership and responsibility, and it just shows that entire team, okay, yeah, you know what? They care enough about me to say, hey, I want you here. That's what we want people to know. And so if you haven't done that, I know a lot of you have, but please, I'm going to keep, until we get all spots filled, I'm going to keep telling you, let's do it. Another big thing I want us to be looking at over the next few weeks is monitoring the growth of our team. We kind of try to take an inventory of how we're doing numbers-wise and where people are at, but now I want to know, how can we monitor the growth of the individuals? Can you look at some of your volunteers on your teams and say 6 months ago they were here and now they're here? Are we able to see that? Because one of the things we want to be doing is celebrating that. I've had some of you, tell me right from the beginning back in April, like, well, I really want to get better at this, or I really want to get better at this. And we've been able to see you step into that and get better, and God really grow in that. And it's something now we can celebrate. And so I want to be doing that with our teams as well. And so in order to do that, we just want to be able to monitor how everyone is doing so we can celebrate their growth with them. That's a huge thing we want to be doing, is just celebrating what God is doing in people's lives, and celebrating their growth. Another thing we have coming up that I want us to be thinking about, and this can be for anybody, but more specifically for next steps, and that is the Discover, how we have Discover coming up, and how we are connecting with people at Discover. I know last time Sean and Melissa went, which was great because they were able to instantly connect with somebody. A few people who have been able to get involved and get connected, and now they're a part of the Fountain Springs community. And that's what we want to happen at Discover. So I encourage you guys, one thing I've been kind of thinking through is how can we buy into Discover as a team? How can you and I cast this vision of Discover to where our team specifically are going to buy in and want to support Discover? I've been thinking maybe once a month we have a certain team, as a whole team, that go to Discover and they just connect with the people that are there. I don't know if that's a great idea. Maybe it's a terrible idea. Maybe it's an awesome idea. But just start brainstorming, how can I get my team to buy in to Discover, because Discover is how new people get connected here at church. So just be thinking about that. And another thing that we started last week that I just want to keep going is we're trying to create this culture of prayer here. And so in the mornings, and you can come at any time, truthfully, because we're in there at about 7:30 every Sunday morning. But from that 8 to 8:15 time, I really want to open up that period on Sunday mornings for prayer. It's something we want to start doing Saturdays at West and then Sundays at East and West. It's just having, this 15-20 minutes where everyone knows, hey, during this time, we're going to have a little time of prayer, and we're all going to be intentionally praying about something specific. And so that's what we want to do this time, is just, 8 to 8:15. So you're totally welcome. It's not mandatory. But just be encouraging your teams, like, hey, if you want to pray, if this is something that's important to you, if you have something on your heart, if you want prayer, if you want to pray, anything, 8 to 8:15, come a little early, and let's just pray together. Pray over the service, pray over the community, pray what's going on. But if they have a heart for prayer, we want them to be able to pray together in community here before the service. Finally, just some information things. I already said it, we had over 900 people at FLE. Just a ton. That was a huge success. And like I said, so many people signed up. I know for me it was a real big deal. My wife and I looked at everything, and we'll be using that stuff. But my little brother, who's 20 and terrible at finances, really bought into this idea of, I can start saving money and I can become financially free. And I loved seeing that from him, because truthfully, my family is awful with finances. And it's just a huge win to see him come and to see him get so invested in something like this. That was big for me. The final thing is coming up early December, so before anyone should be taking off for break and before school lets out or anything like that, we're going to be doing a pie and ice cream social. Lila had this great idea of just getting everyone together, kind of like a Christmas party for guest services, just to show our appreciation. There'll be some entertainment also, but then food, pie, and ice cream. And the whole family is welcome. But I just want to let you guys know that. That'll be early December. This next week we'll have a firm date so we can start inviting people. But it's just our way of saying thank you just for everything that you guys and your teams do. And we just want a time before the holidays start to celebrate and come together and enjoy some time together. But finally, as we leave, just be praying again that God really starts creating this culture of prayer, that prayer becomes one of the most important things we do here, that it's at the forefront of our hearts at all the time. And it's something our teams understand and know how valuable and how important, how powerful it is, and that we just have this culture of people who want to pray. So thank you guys, and we'll see you on Sunday.